Good day, ladies and gents, and cheers. As I finish off my coffee, I welcome you to another episode of Bobby's Vinyl Views. Today, I will be reviewing a unique album because it is Beyonce's 2013 studio visual album, Beyonce, self-titled and appropriately so. I think she did this basically because she, if you don't know this, you should know because it's been all over news and Beyonce is awesome. She only released this album on December 13th, 2013 and December 20th in stores. But she only released it initially on iTunes without any promotion. And I love that about I love that about Beyonce. You know, she's the queen bee, and she can do what she wants, and she felt it unnecessary to promote this album, and she just wanted to release it on her own terms. Whenever the album was ready, she cared about this album tremendously. She worked on it feverishly, and she filmed 17 music videos, 14 songs. She did a couple bonus tracks, and I think that's just amazing. It stands for the amazing musician and person Beyonce is, because she particularly cares about what she puts out for the public and for her fans. And she did not want anybody to leak her music. And when she was filming these videos all over the world, particularly in South America, and but when she was filming these music videos, she would put earbuds in her ears so that only her would hear only she would hear the music, and the music would not be played loud for the onlookers in the streets, so they can't leak it. She wanted to no leakage. She wanted to release it on her own terms. She worked forever on it. Not forever, but a long period on it. And the whole album represents her, her life, and all through childhood, her inspiration for this was goes all the way back to her childhood, watching Michael Jackson Thriller on TV when she was a kid, and she was amazed at how big of an event it was, looking back now. And she wanted to recreate that type of event because music nowadays she feels that the public does not appreciate visual albums because they only take, they only like one or two songs on the album, and they don't appreciate the album in full. And she wants to bring that back by making the album an experience, and she does that. Let me go to the first track. And by the way, one of the things, before I start here, one of the things that I admire about Beyonce is that she likes to plan things out, but she also was willing to let things happen and not plan things for this album and just see what happens. In the studio, I think when she originally came up with the idea for this visual album, there was only 3 or 4 songs that had been conceived of, and then she kind of tweaked the the songs that had already been conceived, and then made the music video for each song to fit with the lyrics. And with the rest of them, she just wasn't as oriented with this, and she just let it happen and let the concept come first, and she wanted to project the image in her head uh, for the fans that she had of each song, and that's why she did this visual album, and I think it's just amazing. And I think because Beyonce did it, a lot of other people will soon follow in her footsteps. Yeah. Right. Let's go to the first song here. The first song is "Pretty Hurts." In the music video, Beyonce plays like a pageant contestant, and basically, uh, she's going for the crown and of this particular pageant. It kind of reminds me of like a Miss USA or Miss America type of thing, but she plays a pageant contestant, and the song basically talks about the evils of the fashion industry and how they are hurting young women and women in general, because they project a beautiful woman to be a certain way, and that no other woman can, no woman can live up to. Sorry, and it's hurting women, and it's lowering their self-esteem, and she talks about that and talks about how you try and fix things that can't be fixed, and it's the soul that needs the surgery, and basically the society in the fashion industry um, needs the surgery and not the woman who you know hurts their body trying to look perfect when in reality the fashion industry and society gives an image of a woman that real life women in reality can't live up to, and it's very sad. And she talks about that in this song, and that's the gist of this song. The first track, "Pretty Hurts," and the second is called "Haunted," and she basically talks about in "Haunted." It's very dark, but she talks about um, to me two lovers that are always fighting, and they're they always they fight, but they love each other, and you know they they always beat each other up, but they love each other, and you know that's the way that the love works. But also, more importantly, she talks about the differences between her job as a performer and as a celebrity, and the 9 to 5 regime of workers that are working in the general public. That's what that song is about. um, Number 3 is "Drunken Love," featuring Jay-Z. It is a duet between her and her husband. And the music video was filmed on a beach in, I think it was Chile or Brazil. It's Brazil Beach. And basically talks about, it's a very sexual song. Talks about, sexual song. So they talks about what they do to each other, when they have sex, and how their love intensifies when they drink, but also, and I think the subliminal message here is how their love intensifies the more the years go on. And it talks about what they do to each other's bodies, and the connection that they have. And a lot of these songs are sexual, but they have a purpose. And number 4 is a song called "Blow," which talks about a sexual act performed on a woman's body, and the feelings that one gets, you know, until you reach the climax, and it has different phases of sex and stages of sex, and then then comes the peak of the climax, and it talks about the woman moaning and groaning and the different feelings that the desired feelings in sex that you're supposed to get with a woman, when you have sex. And the song is called Blow, and it basically talks about not only that sexual act, but also a blowjob. Yes. No Angel, number 5, basically is for the general public to realize that Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage and life are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And she brings to mind that everybody has baggage and everybody has things that they're dealing with in life and things that they, maybe they were brought up a certain way and yada yada yada. They have faults, but marriage and relationships, you're supposed to accept people's faults for who they are and accept the good with the bad and pros and cons and all that and weigh that and you got to realize that you're not perfect either, and that's why you're sticking around. And that's a great message for Beyonce to bring to the world because it's an important one. Just keep in mind when you're finding a mate or a partner, whatever you want to call it, significant other, whatever. Number 6 is Partition. And this song is about, let's see, what is this one about? I don't remember now. Oh, what is it about? Oh, yeah. It's like an anthem, like a lady thug anthem, sexual intercourse in a limousine. People having sex in a limousine and the feelings that they get from that. The spontaneous nature of sex in a limousine. Number. By the way, this song has a very, kind of a disco-y type of feel. Like I say, disco, R&B, heavy bass. Yep. On to the next one. Number 7. Jealous. Basically, is a song about a woman trying to make her ex-boyfriend jealous because they had not kept their promise, just like she had kept her promise to him, and he had not to her, so she was trying to make him jealous, and all the while reminding him that she is only doing this because she loves him and because she is, what's the song? Jealous. It's perfect. It reminds me of, what's that song? From like 10 years ago. It reminds me of Me, Myself, and I. Kind of a kind of empowering, but also can be relatable because everybody gets jealous, whether you're a man or a woman, and everybody has those feelings of revenge and envy, and everybody's got that basic emotion, and everybody can relate to it, particularly women, but also men too. I can. That's why I'm doing this, because I can relate to a lot of what she's singing about, and a lot of the ways that she had, a lot of the things that she is writing about and singing about and experiencing in her life. I can relate to because everybody else is too. We're all people. Number 8 is Rocket, which is another sexual song of Beyonce's, talking about sex in a bed and you know, the feeling of the climax and the peak and her desire for this person, probably Jay-Z because she's married to Jay-Z, to reach the climax and rock it. And, reach that connection in sex that is desired for people. Have that emotional connection and have that feeling of that lovely feeling of an orgasm, sex, and everything that comes with it. Number 9 is called Mine with Drake, and she basically Beyonce. And this song is probably the most personal on this album, aside from Blue, the last one, because she talks about her worries for her family and her worries for the future and whether she will make it with Jay-Z. They have a great marriage, but she talks about her worries of whether they will make it, and if they will make it, they have they're taking it too far, and they probably need to slow down and probably take a break from the hectic lives that they lead and just be with each other. And she's reminding that who you belong to is me. And yeah, that's basically what the song goes. And Drake's role in the song is basically to soothe over the darkness and provide hope, you know, like a man does in a relationship and a woman does too. Whenever there's a problem, the man or the woman provides the hope. Whoever's having the problem provides whoever's not having the problem provides the hope and the stability and the support for the other person. And that's Drake's role in the song, just like Jay-Z's role is and her role is for him in their marriage. And I think it's perfect, the song. Yep. And XO. This song, I believe this one was filmed in Coney Island and talks about the love that they have for each other, her and Jay-Z, and that they will find each other in the crowds and through the love that they have and the connection that they have with Blue Ivy and the love they share and all that. And she shows this love by showing people in Coney Island lines, and she's in the cyclone spinning around. And she shows couples and embracing each other and the love that the couples feel for each other, and the exact same emotion that and feelings that she has for J to the Z. And I think it's perfect. Yes. And Flawless is her song, features a couple lines from her song Bow Down Bitches. But she basically talks about how she is flawless because she always wakes up with makeup on, and she has it applied all day. They make her up to keep that image that we all have of Beyonce, made up and and beautiful. But I think secretly she's also trying to tell us that it takes a toll on her at times because although she's flawless, um, she probably just wants to be amongst the general public and feel kind of normal at times. But she's saying that she's not flawless, or that she is flawless, and that's what the song is. But and number 12 is Superpower featuring Frank Ocean. This song is perfect for the times that we live in now because Beyonce, the Queen Bee, talks about the unfairness that the lawmakers have and the superpower that they have over the public because they get to declare the laws that affect us, and particularly the gay rights issue, that they get to tell us who gets to marry who, and that's not fair. And I fully agree with her because gay rights needs to be legalized. I feel, um, and she's clearly taken a stand, and who better to have on this record, on the song, than Frank Ocean, because he, feels strongly about this, and he's got a lot to say, and I think this is the perfect duet for the two of them. And I think more power to him. And this Beyonce in the video leads a crowd of people in Los Angeles, Kelly Rowland being one of them, and a lot of other people making appearances too. Kelly Rowland's the only one that pops into my head. But Beyonce leads like a crowd of people to um, revolt and create a revolution against those people holding that superpower, and reminding people that us, the civilians, hold the ultimate superpower because we stick together and unite and stand for the greater good. And in the video at the end, you see Beyonce, and Frank Ocean holding hands and embracing each other, and you know, supporting one another. And I think that echoes the times, as I say before, because it's a reminder for the lawmakers that it's an issue that we the people care about. And Beyonce and Frank are. I love Frank, by the way. I just love him to death. He's got a great voice, and so does Beyonce. But they're standing up for what they believe in, and a clear message is, in this video to, legalize gay rights and gay marriage and all that, and I fully support that. And Heaven is a very gospel and piano-centered song, because it is about Beyonce's mother losing her best friend. And it's a very sad song because it's a song of mourning, and Beyonce talks about her mother's friend, and probably the friend, this friend is someone that Beyonce grew up knowing and loving because she was probably over all the time during Beyonce's childhood, when she was being raised. And Beyonce talks about the sadness that her mother feels, and the fact that she does not want to let her go and have her leave, but that heaven is calling her home. And although she is not ready to say goodbye, heaven has called her home, so she needs to go home. And for me, this is a very sad song, but again, it's a song of mourning, and what better way to show this than in a church? And I think it's perfect. Um, you know, I have, no problem with this. And the video was shot in a South American church. Uh, and Beyonce, like Lord, in one of my previous reviews with my friend Jason Quinn on his channel, uh, she, Lord, has songs that echo every mood that she wants to convey, and Beyonce is the same. She she took particular care with this record, and and wants to convey and document this period in her life, um, for Blue Ivy and others, and for her fans particularly. And I think it's perfect. It all fits together. And the last song on this record features none other than Blue Ivy herself. And the song is called Blue, and it's where Beyonce expresses her joy and the gratitude she has towards God for him making her Blue Ivy's mother. And she talks about the joy that Blue Ivy brings to her through the mother-daughter bond, and more important, well, and also, the joy that she brings all together to the family through her smiles and through her and Jay-Z's relationship, and you know, just the joy that any kid brings. And she's in the video, Blue Ivy is, and you see her walking on a beach with Beyonce in Brazil. And Jay-Z's feet are in the doorway of their house, and Blue Ivy's walking around talking, and I think she's a cute kid, and it's a beautiful song, a good way to end this record, because Beyonce, throughout the whole recording process, had family picnics and family activities, and she recorded all around her family and included the family in this production, and anybody involved in this production can tell you that. I've looked this up, and I think Justin Timberlake was in this production team. Pharrell Williams was. A bunch of other people were. Timbaland, a bunch of other people. Jay-Z, obviously. And they can tell you that she, it was family. That was the key in this record, and that's why she took particular care in doing this the way that she wanted, because she did not want anybody else to do it and leak it, and she wanted herself to release this, and that's why she did it on iTunes. 17 videos, 14 songs, and by the way, I feel, I don't know if anybody else has heard this, but Amazon and Target have refused to carry the physical copy of Beyonce's visual album, Beyonce, because they feel that she has taken away and tried to control the album sales or something like that. I don't know, something along those lines. And I think this is ridiculous. But she is very grateful towards other retail stores. Walmart is selling this. You can get this at Walmart. You can get it on iTunes, obviously, but it's been available on Walmart and other places. But the other night, probably a couple weeks ago, when the album was first released, she appeared at a Walmart in Manhattan, and she went there, her and her people, and as gratitude, gave $50 gift cards to Walmart customers to show gratitude towards Walmart for accepting her album and carrying it. And this echoes a problem that Jay-Z had earlier in the year, probably a couple months ago. He tried to sell his clothing line or his clone at a retail store, and he got a lot of controversy because of the store's beliefs. I don't remember what the store was, but I think that it's great that Beyonce and Jay-Z are standing up for their beliefs and what they believe in, and all that, and they don't give a damn what anybody else says, and they're just doing what they want, and that's perfect. I think a lot of other people should do that, and they're sending out that message to be yourself and to be empowering, and they're empowering people, and they're an inspiration. And I think it's funny that like 10 years ago they had a song called Crazy in Love, and then now they have Drunken in Love, which is very fitting. It's two duets, and kind of reminds me of people in my house, but it's funny. But yep, that's pretty much does it for my review, folks. And by the way, the videos, 17 videos, were all filmed. Some of them were in the U.S., but most of them were in other countries. South American church, a Brazilian beach. Let's see. How come I can't find it now? But yeah, Brazilian church. Um, a Persian chateau, roller skating rink Beyonce frequented as a child. Um, Coney Island, like I said before. Todd Truroso was the director of a couple of videos, Jealous and Heaven, and the creative director for the entire project, and basically was in charge of directing the entire project, and basically revolved around Beyonce because Beyonce wanted to include her family and conceive the album the way that she visualized it in her head. She wanted to convey that to the public, and I think that's brilliant. And I think a lot of other artists are going to follow in her footsteps, because when this was released on December 13th, not only could people not study for finals because it was released right before finals, but people just went bananas because Beyonce dropped a bomb. And it's perfect. And, everything flows together. The album is a mix of, R&B, jazzy type feel, and Superpower kind of reminds me of like a Destiny's Child classic 90s song, and she's bringing it all back, and Michael Jackson would be proud because she's bringing his concept of the visual music videos back, and she's trying to represent, you know, and he's been an inspiration to her, and I think a lot of other people will follow. So that does it for my review, folks. And by the way, this is for Beyonce and Jay-Z if they ever see this. I live in Tinley Park, Illinois, and I would like to extend my hand and cordially invite you both to a play date, because I am a stay-at-home uncle whenever my niece's parents go to work and they live with me. They are actually right down their stairs. Right down those stairs. This is where they sleep. And I stay at home uncle with my 3-year-old niece, Selena. And as a matter of fact, there's her pictures. There she is. And I think her and Blue Ivy would have a great time playing together. And so I cordially invite you both to hang out and have a play date with my niece Selena and I and her parents if they're around that day. Next time you come to Chicago, you can contact me on YouTube here and we can set it up. But anyway, this album fits perfectly. It is everything that Beyonce wants, and for that, that's all I can ask for, and that's all her fans can ask for, because it's exactly how she wanted. And um, I would highly recommend this album for anybody, any Beyonce fan, any R&B fan, any jazz fan, anything. She makes it all fit, and she is a superstar, but she is just one of us, and she is a genuine, kind person. And I was looking through her concert footage also when I was preparing for this, and she is kind to everybody that she meets. I think that that she is careful about her image, but what you see is a true person. What you see in the press, or what you see um, with her, is exactly how she is. She's a kind-hearted person, and you know, Jay-Z is too, and they're raising Blue Ivy to be exactly the same, and it's perfect. And this whole album is a genuine surprise, and it's a thrill. And I am very glad to have experienced this, and I would recommend it to anybody. Again, you can get it on iTunes. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at a lot of retail stores. Or remember, not Target or Amazon. Um, but yes, I highly recommend it. So, peace and love. Peace and love. Again, keep in mind my offer, Beyonce and Jay. There's my niece, Selena. There she is there. Look at that face. Who would not want to come over and play with her? So again, I extend my hand to Beyonce and Jay-Z. And hope you take me up on that offer. But if not, that's alright too. I'll still listen to your records. Peace and love, guys. Hope you enjoyed another episode of Bobby's